Hello, gotta move over, get centered up. Welcome to Created in Awe, and also to the Rust Cover Cottage by Christina. We are live on both pages, streaming to both tonight. We have a project for you from the collection that Christina and I have collaborated on called Farmhouse Charm, inspired by Joey. You can find that category on her website. And of course, it's also mixed into the different categories based on like seasons and styles. You can find some of them mixed in there as well. So I have some buttons I have to push down here. We ran a little bit late getting dinner tonight after church because my son is here in town because we had a birthday party to go to earlier before church. So it's been a little bit of a whirlwind this afternoon, and I just didn't have all of this set up. I knew what I was doing, I just didn't have it all set up. So I'm looking for the cutting board that we're going to be using, and I cannot seem to get the name of it right. Maybe Christina can help me. And let's do a little search. I got to search for it, then I'm going to pull it up on both my page and Christina's page to be able to oh, that's not right. Hang on. I've got to search for it. There we go. DIY Wood Kits. There it is. Okay. I'm sorry. Give me just a second. We're going to get this pulled up. It's one of our collection kits from the Valentine's collection. And the only reason it's part of that is because I was looking at the time we put the Valentine collection together. So that's not the whole thing. It's only showing me 4. Maybe it's not listed there. Maybe I need to go to my everyday. Oh, hang on. Farmhouse Charm by Joey. Let's go to the everyday favorites. It should be there. It's probably the last page. And then maybe the second page. And there it is. Breadboard, not cutting board. Okay, so I have to type that in here. Bread board, there it is. Breadboard Display Stand is what this is called. So we are doing that, and I am going to put generate first. I'm going to put that down in the comments on both of these videos. There are 2 featured links. If you are able to see those on your device, they pop up when you first open the video sometimes, and if that disappears and you need to get back to it, down here, at least on my phone, next to the comment box is a little chain link button, and that will bring those links back up for you. So let's refresh our screens so we can see who's here and say hello, hello. Let me see. Oh, nope, got to get over to. It shows we're live, but for some reason it's showing me photos and not posts. What in the world? Let's refresh that again. Why is it doing that? Are we live on both pages? Christina, let me look over here on mine and see what it says. I did the cross post. It's showing me photos on mine too. What? Oh, hold on. It wasn't. It's because I don't have it in full screen. Hold, please. No, that's the wrong video. We're going to get this together. I've got a really wackadoodle curl here. What is that doing? It wants to say hello. Let's get that off the screen. This is really goofy. We're going to have to do it this way. Get it pulled up. Yeah, we do have sound. Then go back to the regular screen view. Oh, you gotta laugh. You gotta laugh at technology, guys. Otherwise, you'll cry sometimes. Let's see here. Got it. Okay, Christina we are live on both pages. Thank you, Lord. Oh, goodness. Okay, get it pulled up here. And on Christina's page, it's Cruise. Yes, I was a couple of minutes late. I apologize. Terry and Linda. Cindy is there. Thank you for letting me know I was live on both. I see Barb over on my page, and Judy and Doris. Thank you for spreading it out there, guys. Share it out. Now, I didn't talk to Christina beforehand. Christina, tell me when you come in. Tell me hi. And tell me if we need to do anything for people who share the video out. If she's here. Okay. She may be busy. She may not be able to. But we will find out if we can. All right, so this is the Breadboard Display Stand, and this is how it comes packaged. It's going to be a super simple project tonight. I'm going to stencil on it just because I want it to have a little bit of pizzazz. I don't want it to be too plain, but you could definitely just paint this. You can decoupage on it. In fact, I have kind of an inspiration paper here just for you to use. You can even put fabric on it. I have a rice paper, but you could do scrapbook paper, you could do a paint technique, all different kinds of stuff. Thank you for getting it out there, Miss Peggy. Thank you too, James. Appreciate you. And I'm going to try to keep up with comments on both pages. Let's get this cut open. Oh, no, let's get the link in here too. Where's my mouse? Okay. Got it. This link is my affiliate link, which is financially helpful to me if you use that link to order any products from Christina's website. If you know of another content creator here on Facebook that does kits, like Cindy does them as well, you can use their link if you like. Let's see. All right. There we go. Now let's see. Christina's there. Hey, hey, hey. Can you pin that for me, Christina? I'll do that on my page, but I can't do it on yours. And I'm so sorry. It always takes me a hot minute to get this stuff set up. Okay, and then we'll go back. I want to be able to see you side by side. No. Okay, okay. Alrighty, you're sprinkling, Teresa. Thank you so much. All right, I've got my water. We are going to paint. We're going to stencil. We're going to have some fun with this tonight. Except, I got to get all this stuff out of my way, or I am just going to, you know what I'm going to do. You know what I'm going to do. If I have too many things at my, aren't those colors pretty next to that? I'm loving those colors. I can't wait to use them for spring. Now, we're not using spring colors tonight. This is just an everyday look. Hey, Marie, how are you? And Anita, thank you all for being here. Let's give this a good old paint job, and then we'll talk about the goodies that we're going to add to it. Get my favorite Magnolia scissors out and cut this wrap. And we will be using, I got caught there. We will be using the cardboard as a backer for painting, just to make my cleanup a little bit easier here. I have a silicone mat on my table, but I always use the cardboard if I can. Am I being funny tonight, Francis? Life is funny. You just gotta laugh. All right, let's look at our pieces. Let's look at our pieces. So we have, let's set these aside for a moment. Okay. Standard old 1/4 inch thick, beautiful birch wood. I'm gonna tell you, not very many of the creators I see out there that make their own wood cutouts actually use wood. A lot of them use MDF. But Christina does use birch that gives you a beautiful wood grain. If you want to stain this, it would be stunning, just stained and up like a regular cutting board would look. And you can sand it a little bit and age it and distress it, add some darker stains, some black paint in areas, and make it really look rustic and old. Or, I think I'm gonna, oh, hang on, my microphone is falling. I don't know why that's happening. Let's get you way back. I apologize for the noise on that. Let's see if we can. No, you know what? Hold on. Let's. I hate the noise that this causes. I apologize. We're going to put you here so that hopefully we don't get a bunch of noise. Tell me if it does create like a staticky or scratchy noise. Okay. So tell me if you would just stain this. You can even stain it with colors of paint. For example, if your kitchen you have like a teal accent color and you want a teal look but you like the wood grain, take your teal colored paint and water it down and apply it with a wet wipe, I'm out of wet wipes. Apply it with some kind of a wet wipe and you will get to see the grain through it, but you'll still have that teal look. Okay, so there's one idea for you. You can use any kind of color, whether it's red, blue, green, orange, yellow, whatever you want. You can get that wood grain coming through. And you can do a layered effect if you want as well. Tonight, I'm going to paint this. A lot of you know I love just the standard old creamy white color. If you use Waverly paint, I would pick plaster is the color I'm going to pick for the background. And then we're going to stencil on top of it, and I'm going to do something a little bit different for the base. So here's how the base goes on. You have 4 flat, long rectangles. This one is a little bit wider, just a tiny bit wider than the other 3. They're going to stack together, okay? So you're going to glue these in a stack like this and make sure they're nice and even. And this piece that's a little bit wider is going to get glued to the front of all of them, and even with one of the long sides. And that's going to allow it to stick up just slightly. It's going to be hard to see until, there you go. Stick up just slightly to give you a ledge to put something on. So you can display some of your tiered tray pieces. You could display some of your, other pieces. I don't know if you'd want to put a cutting board on a cutting board, but you could display something like this. If you have a sign that you make, like our little P.S. I love you sign for Valentine's, that would be super sweet. Or you can even put like a recipe on there or a recipe book. Or I have an idea for you that I'll show you at the very end. So we'll put this together and apply it later. Right now, I want to show you also, this is your stand for the back of it. And it's going to go like this. You have 2 rectangles with holes in them. And they go, slide onto either side of these little, knobs. They're not really knobs, but you call it a knob. And then these 2 pieces will go through the slots of this oval. Line that up. And the oval gets glued to the back. So you're getting an easel back to your cutting board. Now, if you don't choose to display it this way, if you want to hang it somewhere, you can skip this step. But I'm going to paint everything, front, back, sides, everything. And then we're going to get this put together and we're going to stencil on it. So let's get started. I see Robin is here. Who else? Over on Christina's page, is it Leah? Hello. Christina's saying hey to everybody. And if I missed anybody over on my page, I will come back and say hi. I missed Wanda, I think. Hello, hello. Kathleen is here. Good. I'm so glad you guys are going to be here. Spread it out there for me. Let other people know we are crafting tonight. Let's get this painted. Okay, I'm going to paint the front of it first. Paint these guys. I'm going to do this in an accent color. So that will be, you know what, I'm going to glue these together first. Let's glue these together first so that then I can paint it all up. And I've got my stick fast. Yay, it's not clogged. And I'm also going to use a little bit of wood glue. The reason is, especially when I attach it to the board, because it's going to hold some weight of things and it's going to get pressure against it as I put things on it. So the wood glue is the best option to make sure it doesn't come apart, because if you put a whole lot of weight or a whole lot of pressure on something, even the stick fast glue might come apart. So all of these, let's start with the more narrow pieces and glue these together. Not onto the board just yet. We'll do that at the end, and I'll glue the front piece to them. So let's give this, we're going to intermix. If the glue will come down to the nozzle. Thank you for sharing it out. Is Linda here too, Christina? Hello, Linda. Okay. Mostly using wood glue on this. The stick fast is just for that initial hold. I know you can use hot glue if you like, but hot glue adds a little bit of depth and maybe leave some gaps in between your wood pieces. So these are the pieces. I'm just putting glue on the back of 2 of them. The 2 that are going to be toward in the middle of the sandwich. Okay. This is going to go on top. This is going to go on top. I'm going to actually bring it down to the table to make it nice and flat. Okay, and squish. Squish. I do. Ah! It moved. I don't want to glue it to the table. And we're going to clean up the excess wood glue with just a wet paper towel. You can use a wipe, but I ran out. And I forgot to bring my new jug of wipes. I glued that to the table a little bit. Let's clean off the bottom. And give this glue on the outside a little time to dry too. Okay, so we've got our little sandwich of middle pieces. This is the front one that's a little bit wider. And now I'm going to glue it on to the very front. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put the glue on the more narrow piece just so I don't have as much excess oozing out the top. Okay. And I'm going to give this piece a good amount of time to dry because I don't want to get glue on my, crud. I'll wipe that up. I don't want to get glue on my paintbrush. It'll ruin it. I have ruined paintbrushes with the glue. You can use a clamp too, but usually if I just hold it for like 10 seconds or so, it will hold up. Couple of other things, if you have not already become a huge fan like I am, and I know several of you are, of Christina and her website, you need to check it out. You can use the link that's featured next to the comment box, and it brings up a little screen so you can shop while we are chatting and crafting. And also in the description, you're going to find a link to her page. If you're on my page, you'll find Christina's page up there and you can follow her, or you can follow her here in the comments. You'll see the little blue word follow right next to her web page name. Vice versa, if you found me over on Christina's page and you haven't followed mine, you can do the same thing and I would appreciate it. Okay, making sure these are good. So can you see, there we go, how this, that piece right there is a little bit taller than the rest, okay? So it's going to give you a little bit of a ledge, a little bit of a high point on the ledge. And we will let that dry and paint that later. Let's go ahead and give the front of our, I'm going to stop calling this a cutting board and call it a breadboard. I think that's a trendier name, isn't it? It kind of sounds cool. We will paint the front, paint the little mechanism for the back, and then hopefully we can get the rest of this guy painted. I'm going to use my sponge dauber. I am going to go for a fairly solid coat, but it doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to distress this. So just dab in there. Come on. get a decent amount of glue, and I'm going to start with my edges so that those get a chance to dry as we work on the front. It's okay if it's not solid, but I am going fully white. I'm going for like a farmhouse look. Let's get a little bit of paint here. So it's going to be like a black and white look. But oh my gosh, I want to hear what colors you have in your kitchen that you would choose for this and what you would do with it. Would you decoupage on it? Would you just leave it plain? I'm going to smooth out the back so I don't have a really thick ridge as I lay this down on my cardboard to dry. You were kind of absent, Marlene says. Your phone was almost in 2 pieces. Oh no. Going with the wood grain, guys. And we are giving it a good solid coat. Okay. Get a little bit on here and do the handle. And I'm not going to be too particular about the little heart cutout in the handle and getting paint inside there, because like I said, we're going to be distressing this, so it's fine if it doesn't have the white tone on that inside. It's getting a little bit muddled looking, so we're going to give it going over straight across. There we go. Get the rest of this painted. Don't need a whole bunch. And try not to get fingerprints in my paint. Now you may notice that my background is backward. I've been going live on a different app so that I could flip my screen, but in order to be able to post and stream on both Christina's page and mine at the same time, I'm not able to do that. So some of the things in the background may look backward to you, or they will look backward to you. Okay, there we go. Good solid coat. I can still see the little scored rectangle. I don't know if you can. You'll be able to see it once it dries. At the bottom edge, so I know right where our little ledge goes. Let's put this right over here to dry. And I can use my cardboard for our little back pieces. Once again, I don't need to paint inside my slots. It just makes it harder to fit everything in it. But I am going to paint my outside edges. Let's put down some painter's tape. Yeah, no. If I'm painting my edges, they're going to get a little gummed up. So we'll just try to hold on to it. Try not to drop it. And get it all painted up. Okay. And we will be painting both sides of these because they don't have to paint that edge. They go in like that direction. So both the flat sides show. There we go. The front and the edges of this guy shows. Won't worry about the back because I do want to make sure it can glue down as well as possible. If I can avoid too many layers of paint in between the surfaces, then it will glue down better. And I'll be painting the back of this just because it might show a little bit. And we'll go ahead and do all the edges. So, how's everybody doing tonight? The cutout, Rebecca. You are actually on Christina's Facebook page right here. Christina's website is where you find this breadboard cutting wood kit to make this. I have included as a pin, I think Christina pinned it. Maybe she didn't. Look at the beginning of the post if you can't see it. There's a link that takes you to her website using my affiliate link if you want to look through. She has, well, I don't know how many hundreds of kits on her website to look at. So you're going to be looking for a while. Move that over so it doesn't stick too bad. I'm just getting little bits of paint at a time out from the lid so I don't have a ton of it on my sponge dauber. Okay, pretty good. I gotta remember to go back and paint the other side of these, just like I'm going to paint the other side of our little, what do you call that? It's part of the stand, but what would you call that? What would you call it? Oh, you have a brand new phone, Marlene. Well, that's kind of exciting. Hate that you had to do that, but I love getting a new phone. Getting a new device. What am I doing? Drying. We are, what the heck? Hang on, we're twisted up. Let's get untwisted. I want to dry what do you call that? The easel piece. I want to get that dry so I can flip it over in these little guys. And thank you for sprinkling Miss Brenda Phillips, my sweet friend. Lots of sweet friends on here tonight. If you're new to me, please tell me in the comments whichever page you're on. I do like to come back and give you a little heart and say hello and welcome. And if you are one of those silent watchers, I would appreciate a hello. It just helps the video get out there further. I don't hound you, I promise. I just say a quick hi when we come back. Alrighty, flipping, and that's funny. I didn't realize I had halfway painted that side. Well, it's gonna get halfway painted the rest of the way. And then set this aside to dry. And we will do the other side of the breadboard, not the cutting board, the breadboard. That's good. Let's just grab another piece of cardboard that I have already used, and we will finish the breadboard on the back side right here. I am struggling with my sleeves, keeping them up. Well, I don't know what that's about. All right. Thank you, Miss Marcia Craft. I appreciate you so much. And let's go ahead and do the handle first. Try to get some of this thick paint off. Don't have a whole lot on there, but yeah, it's going down into that heart a little bit, but not too bad. Okay. I try to work in sections, so I make sure I can come back and give it a fairly smooth stroke finish before it dries. This side is actually going to look better than the front side. I went a little too quickly with the front side, I think. If I have to, I'll give the front a second coat, but we'll just see. Even if it has stroke marks, that's okay. I just don't like the stop and start marks that I get sometimes. All right, that side's done there. I need that. Why do paper towels not like to cooperate? I even got a different brand than I used to, because they used to always like rip right in one section and not where they're supposed to. Oh my goodness. Did somebody say hi? I missed a hello, and now my hands. Oh! My mic doesn't want to cooperate. Stop. Okay, I'm going to make noise again. Hold on. I'm just not having luck with this tonight. I got to stop messing with my shirt tail and get back to crafting. Hello, Miss Laurel. From Laurel, Wyoming. Oh, that is too cool. Oh, Laurel in Wyoming. Okay, I read that too fast. That would be cool if your town was named Laurel, but it's not. Never mind. I get that mixed up. Okay, let's get this side dry because I want to show you a couple of options. The other day, I mentioned on my page using background rice paper pieces from another affiliate I have called Decor Central. And I looked through my entire stash of background pieces, and I literally used one over here that I'll show you, and I only had one other, and I'll show you as an example. It's not the look I wanted for tonight, so we're not decoupaging. Instead, I'm going to stencil. But I think a background piece like music, like old letters or writing, a shabby chic look with a really pretty floral would be nice. Just depending on the look, I'm back here, that you want. I want a farmhouse look. So the one piece that I could find is this diamond, this old vintage diamond looking piece. And the reason I brought this out, just to show you, make sure this is dry, that it will fit. Okay? The width of this breadboard is not so wide that you can't decoupage a piece of rice paper on it. Now, it's literally going to fit. The bottom edges are going to show, but you can distress those edges and hide them, okay? But it will go in width from side to side. So this is one idea. The other paper that I've already used is back here, and it has some old writing, and that's really pretty. It almost has like a burlap or a parchment paper look to it. I think that would have been gorgeous on this too. But we used it on this one, and I don't have any more. So we are going to stencil. Let's see how this looks. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. Can you see this? Yeah, you can see the scored line, especially if I hide that light a little bit. Right down there at the bottom, that little scored section is where you're going to put your ledge at the end. Let's go ahead and paint that. And I'm going to do black. The reason is we're going to stencil this in black. So we'll give this another minute to set up. And I'm not going to have to paint any more white, so that's going in my water. And let's get, I didn't get it out yet. The color, yes, the color I'm going to use is called Ink. It is a Waverly black, and I have mine very thin. So it shouldn't take too much work to get that on there, except finding a sponge dauber that is not dirty. I wanted a little one, but that's not going to work, so we'll use this one. We are going to get it painted up. I do not have to paint. Okay, remember this is our front piece because it's a little bit bigger. This is going to get painted. I'm going to go ahead and do the top and the sides and the bottom, but the back I'm not going to paint so that, you know, it just sticks a little bit better to our surface that way. Come on. There it comes. Boy, it's so hard to see that black paint. Come on. There we go. Okay. And this is where I'm going to get my hands messy. But see how much easier it is to paint all this after you get it glued together. If you want it painted. You could choose to stain it if you'd rather. Okay. I am going to get some paint on my table. That's okay. Let's get just a little bit more. See if that's enough. Doesn't take much. You just want to make sure you get everything covered. There. Looks good. Okay. That's done, and we'll set it over here on that cardboard to dry. Now let's stencil. Warm and sunny in Southeast Texas. We had a beautiful day today. And I'm going to tell you, I'm miserable from it because I know, we have buds forming on like our hydrangeas and on our little star magnolia over outside of our yard. Things are starting to bud and I'm feeling it. You know, I've been sick for a couple of weeks and now all of a sudden I've got all this happening. So, love spring. I just don't love what it does to me. Somebody first time seeing me. Hello, Hildy. Thank you for being here. Okay, the stencil I'm going to use. Dun, dun, dun. Are you ready? Damask. 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 Damask, whatever you want to call it. We are going to stencil the whole front of this. To me, this gives it a little bit of a farmhouse look. Now, you could kind of tape off an area and like stencil more in the middle if you wanted to. That's an idea. That's an idea. What do you think? I need your opinion. Would you stencil the whole thing in the pattern? Or I kind of like the idea of just doing the center part and then distressing the outside edges. Hi, Tina. 37 where Francis is. You're in Australia, though. I didn't know it was going to be that cold down there. Is it fall for you now? Be an early fall, right? Hi, Miss Edie Dickinson. Nice weather for Peggy. Peggy, you don't count. Peggy DeCano does not count. She's in Hawaii. I don't want to hear about it. Okay. The whole thing says Debbie Murphy. Not sure if what was said back here. Not sure if I missed it. Oh, Groundhog's Day yesterday. Today. Here it's today. You never did have your January thaw. We're going to be back to some cold temperatures too. You like the border idea, Francis? So does Chris. Hello, Chris. Anybody have an opinion over on Christina's page? Do you think we should tape off a border? Let's kind of test it out. I gotta take my glasses off because my eyes are going wackadoodle on me. And I think all I would do is about like a 1/4 inch. And I'm going to eyeball it. About a 1/4 inch from each edge. Constance says the whole thing. Oh, my eyes aren't working. Somebody's name that starts with a K. Kathy says a border. Currently 71. Okay, so Florida doesn't count either. You're going to have to hush about your weather. Although I know you had snow. Well, I don't know if you had snow where you are. I know a lot of Floridians had some snow. So we're not going to go all the way to that edge there. I can see that this is crooked. That's pretty straight. That's pretty good. What about doing the damask as the border and putting something else in the center? You absolutely could. I won't today. I did pull a stencil out that I thought would be really cute. I haven't used this one yet. It's called, what's the name of this? Baking Because, and it says baking because murder is wrong. I know you can't read it because there's stickers in the way, but I thought that one would be so funny. You can get that one at my Magnolia site. All the stenciling supplies, there is that second link that I put as the featured links that takes you to my Magnolia site. That's too thick. Still too thick. If you have seen me before, you know that I don't like to do the measurements if I can help it. I'll measure things on a t-shirt because if I'm going to wear it, I want it to be centered. But on these, imperfection is not a problem for me. Virginia has a lot of water. Oh, yeah. There's so many. And here I can actually use the little scored line here as a gauge to see how straight I am. Well, it's still not straight. What did I do there? Ah! No. You were straight. Why did you have to come loose? Crud. Okay. Keep this edge. Go with this one. Bring it back. Maybe I should just hold it up. There. Okay. Let's have some fun with this. Let's do our damask pattern inside our taped off lines. I wasn't thrilled with the idea of having the pattern up on the handle. That's, I think, where I got the idea of taping it off. Okay. Make sure that's all pressed down. Something you can do to help make sure you get a nice crisp line with your stencil is you can paint back over these edges with your plaster color, just a light coat just on the edges at the tape before you do your stenciling. But we should get a good image. Oh, is somebody gonna meet in person? Okay, let's figure out what direction we want it. I'm going to go this way this time. Okay. And this is sticky, but not super sticky. I've used it several times, so I'm not going to fuzz it. But, oh, I thought I was going to be smart and put it at the edge. That's okay. Now, my painter's tape might get stuck to the back of this if I lift it, so I'm going to have to be careful. I kind of want to have a nice, pretty, like, centerpiece of the design. And then, let's go a little bit that way. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to start smoothing down from the center toward the outside edges. Okay, that gets the air bubbles out, and now I'm going to press it all down so that it is stuck to the board. If you haven't seen these stencils before, they are made out of a sticky vinyl, but there's a top layer of mesh that holds all of your design together, and it gives you the opportunity to use our chalk paste. Oh boy, I didn't think about this. Glittering black or black. glittering black. The reason I like glittering black is you can see it's a soft kind of a pewter color. This is going to be very dramatic. Well, now I haven't, hang on, changing my other mind. I always love using the glittering black. Yep. For that aged look. No snow where you were, Hildy? Well, good. Because I know that would have been, that is very challenging if you've not had snow before or you don't get it very often. I know Miss Anita, Miss Judy down in Texas know that. Here in Oklahoma, it's not, we don't have snow all winter long. We usually get some kind of snow at some point, which we've had, I think, more this year than in the past couple of years. Okay, I gave it a good stir, and we're going to do a dollop. Okay, just carefully dollop some on there. And I'm going to use my bigger squeegee. Okay, this is our cut apart squeegee. It's a little bit bigger than the mini squeegees you typically see me use. It's just going to go a little faster. I like that for patterns because, yeah, I just do the whole thing. I'm not having to worry about certain sections being certain colors or that I'm avoiding certain sections. So I just take this and I gently glide it across. Okay, making sure all of the areas of the design, that mesh layer on top has my paste on it. Now I have excess here. So I'm just going to swipe this along the edge of the jar to go back inside of it to save it. Now, if I leave it thick like this, there's a chance when I lift my stencil it's going to bleed out because we do have to lift the stencil before the paste dries. So I need to go back over this with a little more pressure to get that excess layer off. So hold it steady and press down just a little bit harder, and you can see the difference, and you can see the excess comes off. It also pushes it all the way through that mesh layer and down onto the breadboard surface. Okay, that does it. Stenciling is done. And we're going to lift our stencil. Now I can hold on to my cutting board here slowly. If I missed a spot, I could lay this right back down and go back over it with just a little more paste. But it looks good. Oh, I love that pattern so much. Okay, this is going to get stuck over here to the edge of the table. And I will take it to my sink. Make sure my hands are clean enough. And I will wash it, both sides, lay it upside down with the sticky side up to dry, and then I can put it back on its backer sheet that you didn't really see. Oh, no, this. And store it back in its plastic cover. Okay, this is the backer sheet from it. You can see it's kind of shiny, so I stick it back on that shiny side. All right, look. Isn't that so pretty? Oh, so pretty. And I'm going to go ahead and take my painter's tape off. I don't usually have to worry about having it dry. Remember, always pull your stencil up before your paste dries. When it comes to the painter's tape, it doesn't really matter as much either way, because this is going in the trash. I just got this all over me. Thank you. It is the damask pattern, Vicki. And I will come back when I get a picture of this and I will post that with a link. Don't you? Oh, I'm so happy I did that border around the outside edges. And now you can see why I painted this black. I think that's going to look really good. Now, if this is too stark of a black, I can actually take, I'm going to do that. I can take my paste and use it like a paint. Let's just do with our finger. See the difference in the color? I know it's wet and it will look shiny because it's wet, but it's going to look so much better because I didn't use our coal black paste, I used the glittering black. Let's go ahead and do, watch out, you need to dry anyway. Did the ends. Let's, might as well just get our finger in this some more. You can use a paintbrush. You don't have to use your fingers. I'm just saving myself a little bit of trouble of washing another sponge or paintbrush. And this dries pretty quickly. The glittering colors do take just, oh, don't fall, a minute or two longer to dry than the flat colors, the matte. And this top part does not have to be perfect. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Get my edges cleaned off. Let's get that dry. I'm really missing having my wipes. I'm going to have some messy, messy fingers tonight. Miss Carol Trebuzzo, I'm glad you could be here tonight. I'm a mess. That's okay. Messy is more fun. Lots of snow where you are in upstate New York, Edie. How has your weekend been, guys? Hopefully the snow for you, some of you, hasn't been too bad. Oh, that's gonna be so pretty. And I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm still gonna keep this out and we're gonna have messy fingers one more time. But I wanna make sure this gets dry. I wanna make sure this gets dry before we do the gluing. So I don't smear anything. But we're going to do a little distressing around the outside of this. And all I'm going to do is use that glittering black paste to go around the edges. That's close. We'll give that a minute. All right. And I can do it with my finger, although my finger, when I go around the edges, might as well. You can use something straight like a squeegee, like a palette knife, which I don't have mine out. Heck, you could even use a paint scraper, anything you want. But I'm just going to use my finger since we've been using the finger anyway. I don't want a big thick dollop. I kind of want to smooth it out. And I am going to go right on this edge. Need a little more than that. Okay, and I'm going to come over the top edge to definitely, it differentiates that edge. That's got quite a glare. See that? I even want more. Make it a little more dramatic. Bring that over that top edge. So, can you see the difference on that edge versus that edge? This edge just kind of disappears, right? This one has a little bit of definition to it. Could even do more. And I'm going to go all the way around. Okay. It'll just take a minute. Yeah, I'm not looking for solid coverage, okay? I want to see the color, but it's okay if it's a little bit thin in areas. So this paste is water-based. It's a water and oil base. It's not toxic. It's fine for finger painting. And you can have some fun with the back of this too, although we're going to have to put our easel back on it, which I'll do that before we do the front. Ooh, that looks cool. Look at how rough that edge got. I love that. I love it. Okay, gotta be careful. Hold on. There. Oop, that's a lot. Let's just kind of dab and then smooth. I gotta get that side there. I'm kind of all over the place on this. That's okay. It still gets done. Just trying not to get my messy fingers in my clean spots. What do you think? Do you like this? Is this the kind of look you would go for? Would you rather do something more spring-like? Because really you could do anything you like. You could leave it. You could go with just maybe some dark wax to highlight things, to make it look distressed. Okay, let's try to get a little bit of that. You see those edges? The heart in the middle. My finger's too big. I'm going to use a paintbrush squeegee. Yes. So this is a little squeegee, has a silicone end with a paintbrush handle, and I'm just going to go into the heart. Okay. And on these edges. Just like I did with my finger around the outside. So if you came in late, the breadboard is going to turn into a display stand here in just a couple of minutes. And we're going to show you some things you can display on it. Okay, I want my messy heart to be a little more evenly messy. I'm going to go back over a couple of spots. But the kit comes from the Rust Cover Cottage by Christina. There's the heart. Ta-da! And you can do a bow on this, or a ribbon if you want to also. It is the cutting board shape, the ledge shape, and then you're going to see the pieces that become the easel back next. I'm just going to go ahead and drop that in there because it's going to get washed. I'm done with my paste. What do you think? You like it? Christina likes it. Yay. Okay. Now, I want to get a little bit of this paste off my finger. It just feels very gummy. So we're going to clean that a little bit. And then that's letting that dry. I need to dry these edges so that I don't end up smearing my paste while I'm working, if there's any of it that's still wet. So let's dry, especially this top handle and the damask print. You could go around this edge with a sponge too. Makes it a little bit of a softer look, not quite so harsh. Thank you, Robin. Feels like the pattern is pretty dry. So that's good. That's almost dry. Feels a little bit tacky. We don't want tacky. Get it dry. Flip it over, and then these are the easel back pieces. I'm not going to I was going to distress those, but since I didn't do anything to the back of it, I don't think I really need to. You could use some wax if you want to on it, just to give it a little bit more of an aged look. You could always add a layer of antique wax or dark wax in addition to this edge treatment that we did. Okay, I'm going to flip it over. Now, the thing is, we got to figure out where, ooh, hang on, it's stuck to the cardboard, where my stand needs to start. So, let's pick this up. How far it needs to be. So these little guys are going to go like that. So my oval needs to be pretty much even with where that is. I want it to lean back a little bit further, so I'm going to bring it up higher. There. That way, whatever I put on this ledge definitely gets a chance to sit there and not fall forward. If you put like a thick book or something, you want this back far enough. So, right there. Right there. Now, I am going to do a little measure side to side to make sure it's in the center. Gives me that much. Needs to go left a little bit. Coming down center from there. That does not look centered. Yeah, it does. Okay, so I am just going to kind of flip it over. I'm going to put my glue on here. This goes on first. So let's get this and this again. Back to our wood glue. And we'll just do it in the middle. And our stick fast. I'm going to put the stick fast on the outside edges. And in the middle. Whoop, that's a lot of stick fast. It's okay. All right. Now I'm just going to flip it over, kind of rolling it to keep it in the same spot I had it. Probably not exactly, but close. Okay. Hold that down for a second. Let it stick to the breadboard, hopefully not to you. Now, the tricky part is you're not going to glue this guy. You're going to glue these pieces, but you have to have this inserted into the holes when you glue it. Okay, so I'm going to put, and if you notice the hole is toward 1/2, this is the edge that's going to get glued into the slots. Okay. So I can put one in there if I want to. Let's just make sure it's going to fit. Let's do this side. It's a nice snug fit. And the paint, there we go. Make sure, there we go. Got it in there. But you can't put that in there after you glue it. So, we're going to glue and insert this at the same time. So I'm doing a little bit of wood glue right in half of it, and a little bit, where'd my stick fast go? A little bit of stick fast in half of it. Okay, let's get the lid back on this guy. It loves to get clogged. I'm going to go ahead and put one in. Make sure these are, yes, even. I'm going to go ahead and throw it. I'm going to put this into the slot for one, and I'm going to put it into the slot as I glue this guy in for the other side. Here we go. And push that down. That way this can freely move. Okay? Hold that for a minute. Your stick fast. You get glue in your fingers. I do too. And it'll be there for a couple of days and then it'll wear off. Use a sponge if you want to scrub at it. All right. All right. We'll do a test. Now my wood glue is not dry, but my stick fast is very close to being dry. Well, that's not, aha, it's not going back as far as I thought it would because of this piece. I probably should have put it up higher. Let's cross our fingers it's gonna work. You probably want to put it up higher. Okay. We're going to let you set and cure for a moment, and we're going to glue our ledge on, okay? So remember, this piece that's taller goes on the front, and I can still see my scored lines. We're going to glue it right down there. So, take the lid off of this guy again. It's almost clogging. It clogs so bad. You can use... like I said, hot glue if you want, but it does tend to go on thicker, and I'm afraid my wood glue would not get a good attachment. Let's go this way. Make sure we are even. Press. Get it as flat as you can. Thank you, Carol. Well, hello, Miss Jennifer in monthly kits. You know what? Christina and I have kind of talked a little bit about monthly kits. I really don't know if that's going to go anywhere because it takes a lot of planning, guys. So, don't expect anything too soon. But I think that's a great idea. And I'm glad you helped me put a little bug in Christina's ear about it. Get my excess glue. There. What do you think? Okay, so then we're going to do our test. It wants to stand almost straight up, but let's see what would happen if you put something in it. I don't have a book right here. I don't have a book, but I do have, what piece would we put in? Oh, let's try this one. You can display a cute little piece. Now that's not completely dry, so we're going to be careful. Cute little piece in it. Right like that. See if I can lift it up for you so you can see. Isn't that cute? Now you can't see the damask because it's so big, but if you do something a little bit smaller, let's try maybe our little stamp from our letters set. Isn't that cute for Valentine's? I know it's backwards. Or there's something else we can put on here. And I am going to take my computer and show you, because my computer is a tablet. Do you have a tablet? Do you have a Kindle? Do you have an iPad that you would love to have in your kitchen so you can see your recipes, or you can display, you know, have pictures running on it, something like that? I don't know if I can keep my light on. Hang on a second, guys. Let's take the keyboard off. Fold up the flap. Turn it this way. Okay, there's a cord on this, so just so you know. But looky here. Isn't that cool? You could have this in your kitchen showing your recipe. showing your pictures, showing, oh, look at how well this is holding up already. This is a pretty heavy little pad too. So iPad, Kindle, this is a Surface, any kind of tablet. Oh, I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited. Isn't it cute? Let me take this back off so I can show you the whole thing again. And maybe I can see your comments again. Let's flip this back around. What do you think? Yes? See, Christina called it. She and I talked about it. Doing the iPad on there. All right, there you go. You will want to spray seal this, okay? It's clear sealer of some kind, whatever your preference is. I prefer a matte finish. So this is the one I use because it's non-yellowing. It's Rust-Oleum 2X Ultra Cover Matte Clear. You could use a satin finish, a gloss finish, whatever you like. But spray seal your paste. And I say if you're going to handle this a lot, always spray seal your chalk paint, because chalk paint will absorb oils and dirts and it's very difficult to clean. So this will allow you to clean it. So here's your back. Okay, here's your easel. Again, I think I would recommend moving it up a little bit, and I might have to pry this off and do that so that it tilts back a little bit further. And so you want to move it up higher so it has more give toward the back of it. So thank you for being here. I appreciate this. This is our breadboard. What do they call it? Breadboard Display Stand in the Farmhouse Charm Inspired by Joey collection on the Rust Cover Cottage by Christina website. I know that's a mouthful. It's a lot to say. But I do hope you'll go check it out. Check out our collection. And I'm going to drop a little hint for you. Spring is coming soon. We'll be announcing a date very, very soon for the spring collection to start releasing of our kits together. So if you're excited about that, let me know. I will be posting about it when we are ready. Thank you for being here. Have a great night. Go over to my affiliate link and grab yourself one of these kits or any of them that you love. And I want to see pictures of it. So thanks for being here, guys. Thank you, Christina, so much for letting me be on your page. Have a great night. Bye.